Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Yes, Mataji, please start.
The ladies of the capital of King Yudhishthir spoke the same way among themselves while watching that very personality of Godhead leave for his own capital.
So even those ladies were glorifying the gopis, not alone Bhishma Dev. So like Bhishma Dev is very scholarly. Just because he's scholarly does not mean that he only knows about gopis. Even the simple people in the capital of Yudhishthir Maharaj, Hastinapur, they were glorifying, it is being mentioned. So gopis are known even if you're simple or if you're very exalted. That's the point.
So friends, just think of his wives whose hands he has accepted. How they must have undergone vows, baths, fire sacrifices, and perfect worship of the Lord of the universe to constantly relish now the nectar from his lips by kissing the damsels of Raj Bhumi will often faint just by expecting such favors.
They are doing so much tapasyas to go there to be the gopis with Krishna.
Sri Gopakumara said, after speaking thus, the great sage Narada embraced me. He merged in waves of an ocean of love of Godhead. He trembled and wept, and his hair stood on end. He bit his tongue, a tongue uncontrollably eager to keep speaking. And he danced wonderfully and showed many symptoms of ecstasy. Commentary. Narada wanted to hold back from elaborating any further on the many wasted glories of the gopis because he was afraid of losing control of himself in ecstasy. As it was, he was already beginning to lose control. In fact, right in front of Gopakumara and Uddhava, he rolled on the ground, jumped about, and shouted and cried like a madman.
See, we are all speaking the glories of Krishna so easily, right? Narad Muni is showing so much symptoms, just mentioning the basic pastimes of the gopis. He has not even gone into the depth. So, what I was trying to realize is that there is one thing to speak about these things, but there is another level to actually realize it and then speak about it. So, that's what here realized speech from Narad Muni is coming.
A moment later, he came back to more or less normal. Seeing me feeling discouraged, the best of sages spoke again, consoling me with sweet words. Commentary. Seeing Narada go mad in ecstasy made Gopakumara worry that his own goal might be difficult to achieve.
So this is very important. Like how every time even I ask question to Mother Malti that this looks very difficult. Like where are we heading to, right? So Narad Muni is going to help us for all of us who feel like it is too difficult to achieve. Priya Madhvi Mataji. Nine Sundari Mataji, is she there in the call? If not, Priya Madhvi Mataji, please go ahead.
Yeah. Sri Narada said, this subject should always be kept private, to be spoken only among saintly devotees, and it should especially be avoided in places where the Lord's supreme opulence is displayed. Commentary. Thus Narada asked Gopakumara never to repeat in an unsuitable place what Narada had just told him about various topics, beginning with the position of Goloka and ending with the glories of the gopis.
So we don't see this at all in any public speaking or any other temples in general. Nobody speaks about the intimate pastimes of gopis with Krishna. Yeah. Who was next? Anita Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji, can you listen me?
Yes.
Can you
Yes,
hear me?
please.
Okay.
Yeah,
That is why I didn't reveal these things to you in Vaikuntha. Only here, moved by the charm of your ecstatic love for the Lord, have I spoken of them a little.
Jai, just a little. Sashikala Mataji. Is she there? Sashikala Mataji, are you there? I'm sorry because of me joining late and delaying everybody. Who else is here today? Vasantrasa Mataji. If not, Vallabi Gopi.
Yes, Mataji. On my own behalf and that of Uddhava, I testify to you that from here, that abode of the Lord is in fact most difficult to achieve, and so too is the discipline that leads to it.
So it's so important that discipline. So it doesn't mean that the gopis were not following any devotional service. The highest devotional service they were doing, only then they are there. So the discipline to go there is very tough. Narad Muni is explaining. Sirisha Mataji, are you there? Neeta Mataji, Payal.
Yes, Mataji. Yes,
Who is?
Mataji, I'm here. Hare Krishna. Nita.
Yes, please go ahead.
But please hear from me this one piece of advice. Not far from here lies the Lord's holy abode known as Sri Purushottama Kshetra, which you visited before on earth.
So now we should think now, why is now Narad Muni confusing him? He already knows that Jagannath Puri is there, right? Now he's saying from Dwaraka, now go to Jagannath Puri. Now is that going to happen? It's a confusion now. So let's see what happens. Payal Mataji, are you there?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes, please.
There, in the company of Subhadra and Balarama, Lord Purushottama enjoys the same sport he enacted at Govardhan and in the Vrindavan forest and on the shores of Yamuna.
Jai. Richa Mataji?
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. His transcendental form, the one source of all incarnations, expends all his various pastimes. Whichever of his forms a devotee finds attractive, that form the Lord shows him. Commentary. Within Lord Jagannath, Gop Kumara will be able to see all the different forms of the Supreme Lord, for Lord Jagannath shows himself as one incarnation of Vishnu or another at suitable times and places by displaying that incarnation's pastimes. Gopkumara may doubt whether all his desires can be fulfilled by Lord Jagannath, whose form differs from that of Madan Gopala. After all, Gopkumara's heart belongs only to Madan Gopala, who alone can attract him. To remove this doubt, Narada speaks the second half of this verse. Lord Jagannatha will surely respond to Gopkumara's particular mode of devotion by appearing as his worshipable Lord Gopala.
But is this going to help him? That's doubtful, right? So let's see. Priyanka Mataji, are you there? Neeru Mataji, who is there on the call? Or
I
anybody?
can read Mataji.
Neeru Mataji, you're there? Please go ahead.
Yes, ma'am. Eternally as dear to Sri Krishna Deva as his beautiful Mathura Dham is that Purushottam Kshetra. There the Lord displays his supreme opulence and yet charm his devotees by acting like an ordinary person of the world.
Yeah. So Narad Muni is neutral. Like he travels everywhere. So he can neutrally speak good about Dwarka also and Jagannath Puri also. But Uddhava is not like that. His love for Dwarka and he can go above and above. He doesn't want to go in any reverse direction. So now that we have Uddhava, let's see what will happen next. Anybody else on the call has not read? I'm really sorry. I'm not seeing the list. But
Hare Krishna Mataji, I'm here. This is Shashikala Devidasi.
yes,
Can I go?
Mataji. Please.
Okay, Mataji.
Go ahead.
Okay, text 213. No, Mataji?
Yes,
Text
you're right.
And if you are still not fully satisfied after going there and seeing him, then at least stay there for some time as the means to achieve your desired goal.
So Narad Muni is trying to kind of prepare him more for that intense devotional service. So it's he's thinking that by staying there, he will learn a little bit more about this prema bhakti. So that is the reason he's talking about Jagannath Puri. But there will be a twist. Anyone else? I didn't call the name. I'm sorry. Please let me know. Prem Pallavi Mataji, would you like to read? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Which one is it? Two?
Dandavats Pranam. Yeah, of course you're.
Okay.
214.
Of course, your ultimate goal is pure love for the lotus feet of Krishna, the divine gopis, life and soul. Love that follows the mode of the Lord's own Vrajabhumi. You seek no other goal than that.
So Narad Muni is trying to fix him in one place, but it may not happen. But the prime cause of pure love for Sri Krishna is Krishna's full mercy, which in some way may arise spontaneously and in someone else by gradual practice of devotional service. So now Narad Muni is going to explain two ways how this Krishna prema is going to come. Yes, Sri Gaurangi Mataji, please go ahead.
Just as from a generous donor, one might receive food already cooked or the means and ingredients for cooking food oneself, so according to the opinions of scripture, one receives Krishna's mercy through a method of devotional practice, either regulative or spontaneous. Though all perfection in bhakti comes only by Krishna's mercy, there is still a need for different methods of sadhana. To illustrate the point, we may consider the hungry people who should receive charity. Some should be given food already cooked and offered to the Supreme Lord. Others, like strict Brahmanas, who eat only what they have cooked themselves and offered to their own deities, should be given rice, other ingredients, and pots and fuel for cooking. Similarly, most aspiring Vaishnavas need to be purified from material contamination by regulative devotional practice. Only a few souls already pure can enter directly into spontaneous loving service.
Now that we have Prem Pallavi Mataji, we should have Prasadam, right? So, perfect verse. She cooks and she gives you directly, or arranges and make sure that they get it. Amrita Nandini Mataji, please go ahead.
Once one has overcome the obstacle of the path that arises from frail, frailties like fear, one can then achieve pure love in which one thinks of the Lord like a close friend in the ordinary world. For this, one must have strong desire to serve the Lord in the manner of his Gopas and Gopis. Commentary: when a serious devotee first sets his aim on following in the footsteps of the Golokvasis, the goal may seem far away. He may begin his endeavor still encumbered by many material desires. But the more he carefully studies the transcendental reality, the more he renounces his unsuitable desires. He then rises above the misgiving born of fear, reverence, distrust, and shame. The real beginning of spiritual life, therefore, is to become free from material desires. Until the obstacles are overcome, the devotee sees the object of his devotion only as the supreme powerful and so remains too fearful and respectful to have any real love for him. But later, when the devotee swims in the vast ocean of bhakti, the superficial waves of contrary impulses recede, and he is granted the super intelligence for friendship with the Supreme.
So the point is said that as long as we are in fear, it is very hard to develop a friendship with the Lord. So that purificatory process is needed, that we hear more and we get to know the Lord more intensely through our hearing and chanting. So furthermore, it will get Narad Muni will make it more easier for us to understand. Since the prema bhakti is not so spontaneous for most of us, so the sadhana bhakti is very important, and he's going to guide us further in this.
One develops that love by practicing the devotional service, whose main ways are meditation on and singing about the many Vraja pastimes of the Lord. That service becomes brilliant by Sankirtana of the Lord's most beloved holy names. Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti, which consists of 9 basic devotional practices, beginning with hearing, chanting, and remembering, prepares a devotee's heart for the awakening of prema, love of God. dhyana and gana, the general methods of remembering and chanting about the Supreme Lord and his pastime, transform in the advantage stages of sadhana into Preshta Nama Sankirtana, ecstatic absorption in the nectarian names of one's worshipable Lord. This Sankirtana is the most essential means for achieving prema. By Nama Sankirtana, one easily realizes the full glories of Krishna and his pleasure potency.
So that Nama Sankirtan, our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has freely given to us, and Prabhupada has shown us. We have got, he has leaked the final question paper to us. So he has given the answers directly. So we have it in our hands, and that is what is going to take us to that abode.
In the company of people whose only taste is for devotional service in pure love, that love appears of its own accord. Yet one must try hard to keep it concealed. The quickest way to achieve prema is to stay in the company of those who know its value. The association of first class pure Vaishnavas has the power to evoke prema in an aspirant's heart.
Jai.
When one resides always in seclusion in the land of the Lord's favorite pastime forest, surely such love will soon develop unmatured.
That is so sweet. Anita Mataji?
Mataji, something wrong with my internet connection. I cannot
Okay.
see the
Sure.
next
I'll let
Mataji.
Sashikala Mataji to go ahead.
Yes, Mataji. The loving devotional service is far different from disciplines such as karma, gnana, and yoga. At every stage, it is decorated by indifference to them, and its root is dainya, utter humility.
I am sorry, my screen is acting up. So now he's going to talk about the humility for Nam Sankirtana. And Mahaprabhu already gave us, right? Trinadapi Sunichena. So we have full package here actually. So that's getting revealed to Gopakumar now. Some more Sashikala Mataji here in the commentary.
Sure, Mataji. Bhakti Yoga, in all its phases of practice and achievement in this life and the next, is always decorated with the ornament of indifference to material desires. This holds true whether bhakti is performed internally with the subtle body or externally with one's physical body and senses and the body's external possessions. When one allows secondary means and goals to become prominent, one deviates from bhakti. The most essential support and a candidate for pure bhakti must always take help from it is utter humility.
Jai. Vallabi Gopi.
Wise men define dainya as the state in which one always thinks oneself exceptionally incapable and low, even when endowed with all excellences.
So some more he's explaining what that humility means. Sirisha Mataji or Nita Mataji? Nita Mataji.
An intelligent person should carefully cultivate speech, behavior, and thinking that fix him in utter humility, and anything that stands in the way of it he should avoid.
Jai. Payal Mataji?
Yes, Mataji. Dainya at its most exalted comes forth when prema, pure love of God, reaches full maturity, as it did in the women of Goloka when they were separated from Krishna.
So here the point is made that when they got separated from Krishna, they did not curse Krishna, but they went into intense remembrance of the Krishna. Like they didn't find fault with Krishna that he's gone, but they went more deeper in his remembrance. And that is what is real humility is, that they went more deeper into their real nature of remembering the Lord and helping each other remember. Yeah, a little bit more here, Payal Mataji.
As prema appears in degrees of excellence, so does dainya.
So this chapter we started from prema. So many stages of prema we have seen, and it's getting intensified. Similarly, this humility also gets intensified as the prema gets intensified. Like they become so much humblest, and it keeps going like that. Yeah. Richa Mataji.
When Danya fully matures, Prema unfolds without limit. And so we see Danya and Prema acting in a relationship in which each is both cause and effect. Commentary. Danya is an integral component of Prema and both foster one another.
Yeah, so humility and prema go both hand in hand. And some more, Mataji, Richa Mataji.
Sure, Mataji. What the progressive development of Prema shows is not that there is no goal, but that in spiritual life there is endless variety. By pure love for the lotus feet of Sri Gopinath, the fruit one achieves is the attainment of Sri Gopala. By that attainment, the direct sight of Sri Gopinath, by that direct vision, his special mercy, by that mercy, the highest ecstasies of Viraha Bhav, and so on. This endless sequence is not a fault, but simply the unfolding of spiritual variety. Even in Vaikuntha, what to speak of Goloka, the bliss of devotional service unfolds in an infinite variety that puts the happiness of liberation to shame.
Jai. Neeru Mataji.
Dear brother, those who know the essence of prema recognize its presence when the melting of a devotee's heart gives rise to trembling and other such outward signs.
Jai. Prem Pallavi Mataji.
Mataji, is it okay if Shrida can read?
Oh, yes. Yes.
For those who have prema, the blazing conflagration of their agony is like the nectarian water of the Yamuna and yet like the burning flames of a fire. To them, poison is like nectar, and nectar like poison. Death is happiness, and life but an expansion of misery.
Yeah, a little bit more on the commentary, Mataji, just the highlighted part.
Yeah, just this. In the intoxication.
In the intoxication of prema, sources of pleasure seems like those of pain and vice versa. In other words, the difference between pleasure and pain becomes blurred.
So that prema ecstasy, that it goes to that extent where pain and pleasure, the difference is so blurred that we can't even understand. The crying and the laughing is all mixed together. Indeed, because one cannot clearly tell between coming together with the object of prema and being separated from it. Prema is full of both the greatest ecstasy and the worst anguish. A devotee under the influence of prema loses the power to discriminate between ecstasy and misery. Even in ordinary life, things taken to their extremes can seem to change into their opposites. The coldest ice may feel hot to the touch like fire. So this is the closest example that we can have in this material world, like placing ice on us can burn like fire, but its nature is not to burn. Yeah. Please go ahead, Mataji Shikara.
When prema matures, One inevitably acts from time to time in the ways of an utter madman. And without such prema, not even the 9 kinds of devotional service to Lord Mukunda can bring real happiness.
So sometimes I was trying to reflect, and we don't feel that complete happiness because we have not reached to that prema extent. So the real happiness is not coming in. It's still we are struggling in that stages of devotional service.
Indeed, without prem, the 9 kinds of devotional service are like vegetables without salt. An elaborate,
Yeah, please go ahead.
an elaborate meal without hunger, scriptural study without understanding, or gardens without fruit.
Narad Muni is going into too much detail, right? Clearly explaining. Oh, Krishna.
I am saying something general about this love, but it cannot be described in full detail. How can I adequately tell of the nature of the pure love the women of Vraja have for Krishna?
So whatever he said, vegetable without salt is also much less. There is more to it. So, and he's saying he cannot say more about it since he has not tasted it. Hey Krishna.
When Krishna went to Madura city, the cowherd women were flung at once into a state more intense than the fire of universal annihilation. The simple truth is that the cause of this state was prema. Please, I beg you, do not try to delve into this any deeper.
He's not able to stop. He's going on speaking and he doesn't want to go deeper, but he's not able to stop. What a situation for Narad Muni.
If ever you meet the divine goddess Radhika, then you will see Prema in person. And if ever she speaks about Prema, only then can you hear the truth about it, if you are able to understand it.
This is the final conclusion. Only Sri Radhika can speak. And how will she speak? She will not speak. So when will she speak? So let's see when is she's going to speak.
Or should there ever be a full incarnation of Sri Krishna Chandra to distribute pure Krishna prema or to experience the Krishna prema of Srimati Radhika, you might be able to understand it. To protect the hope of Gopakumar and other devotees to obtain love at the lotus feet of Sri Radhika and the Lord of her heart, here Narada hints at the future appearance of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the combined form of Sri Radha and Krishna.
Jai. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki Jai.
Jai.
Yes, Sashikala Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. So, dear son of Vrajabhumi, to fulfill your desires, go quickly to Lord Jagannatha's abode, the holy place that is an image of Mathura. Unlike me, you are surely a person in whom the Lord has reposed his mercy.
But he is very clear you have to go to Jagannath Puri, yeah? But let's see what happens. Vallavi Gopi.
Shriman Uddhava said, certainly as dear to our Lord as that Purushottama Kshetra is this Dwaraka Puri. Dwaraka is as fully beautified by the deeds the Lord performs, both as the supreme controller and as an ordinary person of the world.
Jai. So now Uddhava is actually not very happy about this proposal. So let's see further. Neeta Mataji. Neeta Mataji. Hare Krishna. If Neeta Mataji is not there, Payal Mataji.
Yes, Mataji. Yes, Mata. I was talking on mute.
Yeah,
Sorry.
please go ahead.
It is our own. It is our own master, Sri Devaki Nandana, who in Purushottama Kshetra assumes the form of Lord Jagannatha. Standing motionless, he sports eternally for the pleasure of its residents, whose hearts melt in a flood of love for him.
Yes, Payal Mataji.
The same reality shown there is also found here, without any difference, but there, by seeing and hearing about his pastime in Vrajabhumi, you will feel a certain kind of sorrow.
So now Uddhava is hinting that if you go to Jagannath Puri, you will only feel sorrow because they will sing. You remember the Gopi Gita and all is being sung to Jagannath, and he is in a teary mood. So that will only make you more cry. You will not bring happiness to you. Uddhava is saying.
Because Uddhava doesn't want him to go there.
Yes, 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 Richa Mataji.
And by seeing Lord Jagannatha's lotus face there, by getting plenty of his Mahaprasadam, and by enjoying his frequent festivals and processions, you will certainly feel delight in your heart as well, but not humility.
Krishna.
Commentary. In Uddhava's opinion, the environment of Puri will be at once so disturbing and so enjoyable that Gopkumara will neither realize the happiness of Krishna Prema nor obtain his objective, Goloka.
So he's very clear. You will not go. You will be neither here nor there. He's saying, "Hey Krishna."
With, without utter without utter humility, the pure love that leads to entrance into Goloka will never arise, and until you attain that word, you will never be at peace.
Jai. So we will stop here. Thank.
Mataji, actually Uddhava knows, right? That is why
Ah,
he's trying to stop.
yes, and he's giving clear explanation. Not that he's mad that he doesn't like Jagannath Puri, but he intensely knows that this boy belongs to Gokula, has to go to Goloka, not now reverse back to Jagannath Puri, and from Dwaraka he shouldn't go down. He should go up Mathura and there up. Like his heart is there, and he will be empowered, and that's what is the Lord's plan also. So he doesn't want another route to for him to take, and he has already seen Jagannath Puri, and only he came up. He did his travel and he came up. Yes.
Yeah.
And the point he's trying to make is like he wants to see those people in that prema rasa more, interact with them more to learn that and not to go back. Since he has now heard, now he has to see them. He shouldn't, he has to realize, means he has to associate with those pure souls now, moving forward.
And he's already been in Jagannath Puri once, right? He was not
Yes.
satisfied. Now again going back will not make any.
Yeah.
It's not going to be fruitful.
And only now Uddhava could say this. Now Narad Muni is not knowing so much about the glories in a sense. Uddhava is the one whose heart is already sold out to the Vrajavasis.
But why is Narad Muni pressing on to go to Jagannath Puri?
Because he says, right, like for his attachment he cannot speak about the gopis because he didn't have a personal interaction with the gopis. So he feels like maybe this boy is not yet ready. He should get more training on the prema platform before he goes there. So but Uddhava knows where he should send him next. So since he has already tasted that next platform, Narad Muni, in a sense, has not tasted to the extent like Uddhava. Even when he started, he said, right, Uddhava, you say, then he said, you say, they both were going back and forth. Yeah. So even Narad Muni is having that limitations where to send him into that Goloka platform, he needed help from Uddhava to get him there. Very, very confidential, so hard to understand, Krishna.
Mataji, one question.
Yes.
How do we know that we are doing service with salt? That means prema. Prema with love.
Without salt, huh?
Yeah, we don't know. We don't know, right? Whether we are doing with prema or not. How we know?
Yeah, Guru Sadhu Shastra Mataji has always that check and balance. If the devotees are pleased, and if our Siksha Gurus and our Diksha Gurus are pleased, then we have put the salt in there. If they are displeased, then the salt is gone. As far as I understand. Anybody, please say, share your realizations, Mataji.
Mataji, I was thinking I've started liking without salt only.
It is hard, Mataji. Priyamadi Mataji, you are being very sincere in asking this question. Let us talk openly, right? Like, since it is our small group, like if I'm very attached to my cooking, okay, and somebody comes and says that today can you give this opportunity to another Mataji to do the cooking, and I'll be like, I've been doing this every single day and this is my turn, I better do this. If that's what my service is taking my humility away. Okay, so now here dainya, that's how we are reading the scripture, right? The humility should build up. So if I see that service as given me an opportunity, as an order, or that is helping me go closer to Krishna and the devotees, that means I am pleasing. But if I take a stand and say this is what I can do, because that is what I like, when I all about me is I, how I feel about that service, it's very hard, Mataji. Like, I'm just saying for the sake of saying it. Maybe when you put me there, I don't know what I will behave like. That's what that maturity, all that comes in, I guess. So it's hard, it's really hard. Like, I can really remember Prem Pallavi Mataji, she was on the altar, she was so merciful to me. I just passed by and she said, I said, can I help? And she said, oh yes, please come and dress Krishna and Radharani. And I was like, that was like I don't know what to say. She was very merciful to me. So even though I did some goof up and blunders, but just to say that it requires a lot of maturity, Mataji, to share our service or to let go of the service. In like, today, just now before I came, I was on call with a senior devotee and he gave this example. There is a talk between Prithu Maharaj and Indra, where Prithu Maharaj had to do his 100th sacrifice because he had taken a vow. But Indra was so scared if he does that 100 sacrifice, he will become Indra. But Prithu Maharaj had no interest in becoming Indra. So they both had fight. So they both went, Prithu Maharaj is actually incarnation of Krishna. So they both went to Brahmaji to resolve it. They just went to one person to resolve it because he's head for both of them. So Brahmaji said, please, Prithu Maharaj, let's stop this. Let Indra be happy. You be happy with your 99. It's okay if you don't do the 100. And Prithu Maharaj accepted it and the case was solved there. So if Prithu Maharaj was attached to doing his 100 because he had taken a vow, this fight will never end. And if he's not listening to Brahmaji, that will never go. So he was ready to listen to his authority. So that's where, Mataji, that listening to authority is a very big thing. And our own Guru Maharaj, since today is our 7th, December 7th, the Vyas Puja of His Holiness Radhanath Swami in the day twice, he shared that he was exploited to the extent in New Vrindavan. He would sleep when he was saying Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. And when the other devotees would repeat, he would take a nap between that Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. That was the only time he got to sleep. He was doing all 6 artis, all the milking of the cow, cooking, all the deity offerings, no sleep in the night. So he was going through that situation. He felt, if you or me, or at least me, I would really feel I'm getting exploited in devotional service. So he said, it is better to be exhausted. This is the words of Chaitanya Charan Prabhu. It is better to be exhausted than rusted. What a saying, right? That means it is better to get exhausted doing your devotional service than to not to do and get rusted anyway. Like when we don't do it, we are just getting rusted. So very deep, Mataji, this subject is actually.
So
Slowly.
overall, I understand pleasing devotees and listen to your authority.
Authority, yes.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
It may be also wrong, even if they exploited us. One more story, Maharaj says, one guru gave the mantra, one boy was going on asking this guru, give me a mantra, I want some mantra, some special mantra. And this bogus guru was so bad, he just said, okay, come here, go there, just say that. This is the mantra. And the boy was like, that's the mantra? And he said, yeah, that's the mantra. Come here, go there. And that boy went and chanted this mantra so much. He perfected that mantra and he came running to the guru and he said, Guru, the mantra is working. And he said, what mantra? He said, the mantra that you gave me. And that guru was like, what mantra did I give you in the first place? And he said, come here. And the guru flew and came close to him. And he said, go there. The guru flew back. So Maharaj says this funnily in a sense that that guru was not in any intention to give this boy. He just wanted to get rid of him. But that purity in that kid and the belief he had on that guru made that mantra work. So I'm sharing so much, but I pray that I can actually practice this, Mataji. It's very hard though, because the ego is so strong, so strong. Yeah. You're muted.
Sorry. I understand now. Thank you.
It's very hard. So we'll help each other. Yeah, we'll help each other. That's why
the meaning I understand. I said the meaning I understand. I'll try to put salt.
I like that. Any other realizations, Mataji? I'm really sorry for today what happened. Krishna. If no other...
Priya Madhvi Mataji, one correction for my side for you. You talk in Hindi, so your sadhana is 200% fulfilled.
So Guru is giving you order. And
you are touching the wrong person. South Indian
Mataji,
no Hindi.
Hindi mein baat karo Mataji. Mataji, Hindi mein baat Mataji. Now today start. 1, 2, tick, tick, 2.
Then Leela Mataji will take our Telugu class, okay?
Yeah.
Mataji will give a Kannada class and...
Okay, Mataji, I am happy, Mataji. I am really happy. At least everybody learn to each other for some more and more and reach the goal. At least वहाँ मिलेंगे तो कम से कम आपकी लैंग्वेज में बात करेंगे तो आप पहचानो कि हाँ ये इस्कॉन टेम्पल वाली थी devotee.
Mataji, you know what she said? When we meet up there, you will remember. We will talk in your language. What are you talking with, Mataji?
I also didn't get. Thank you, Shigorangi Mataji. I was like, where?
Mataji, वहीं जाना है अभी कहाँ जाना है और वहीं ऊपर ही
There we'll meet and we'll remember each other's language. Ritu Mataji, amazing.
There only Sanskrit, Mataji. We will learn Sanskrit.
Mataji, 10th grade tak little bit kuncham. Sanskrit read it.
I also know. Tike.
Okay, Mataji.
This is going very well. Any other realizations, Mataji? Back to Gopakumar and Goloka. Hey Krishna. So we will meet again tomorrow. I'm sorry for all the delays and we pray that we can be on time. I can be on time tomorrow, not to disturb the flow.
Mataji, by any chance, is there a possibility we can do a little early tomorrow?
What time you all want to do? Tell me and I am open.
If it's possible for everybody. I know it's last minute.
You throw a time, then let's go.
Mataji, 5:30.
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
Me too.
Me too, Mataji. Okay, Mataji.
So it's only tomorrow, Mataji? Only tomorrow,
yes,
right, Mataji?
just tomorrow.
Okay.
She's on the altar, so we better help her out.
Okay, Mataji, sure.
And whoever else in between, whatever happens, please let us know and we can get it working there. Sure. Thank you. So, Kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyevacha patitanam bhavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Ananta Koti Vaishnavi Vrinda Jai. Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
Premanande Hari
Hari Bol.
What time did you say? 5:30 or 5?
5:30.